Hey, what's up, all? How's it going? Welcome to Nerdology 5280 Presents this Nerds of the Round Table, our special edition for DCCW, which is our review of the DC shows on CW and what's to come and all that stuff. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Jamie. As always, sitting across from me, the lovely Ryan.
How's it going, nerds?
I'm excited for today because I know we're both big fans. The seasons have been pretty epic. Even when it is kind of slow, it's still pretty epic. You know, it's still fun to watch and enjoyable and all that stuff. I don't know. I guess just an overall like short impression of Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow. I know you haven't watched Supergirl, but we will briefly explain kind of what we think is going to happen with her bringing into the CW universe since she will be on there next year. So, and real quickly, actually, please note, I might be sounding like a 15-year-old boy going through puberty off and on, hawking up along, doing all that shit because I have been sick as a dog all week. So shit happens if I start squeaking or, all that shit. Hey, whatever. It happens. My balls are finally dropping. So,
Only took 30 plus years.
Exactly. Hey, it happened though. I mean, finally.
Yeah.
I mean, so what did you think?
Just a quick overview. I would give Flash an A. I would give Legends of Tomorrow a B+, and I think I would give Arrow a B- for the season.
You're definitely more giving than me on some of those. I guess overall Flash is an A+. I mean, it was a perfect season for me. Legends was so up and down. I give it about a C+.
Fair enough.
And then Arrow is actually about the same, about a B- right in there.
All right.
I enjoyed Arrow more than I did Legends.
I think I gave Legends a B+ just because I felt that it exceeded my expectations.
Uh-huh.
I really didn't know what to expect, but I did have low expectations going in. And for the most part, I actually thought that they did a really good job making the show exciting and interesting and letting us get to know different sides of the characters that we had already seen before and fleshing out some of the characters that we really hadn't been exposed to very much.
Yeah. It was... Since that's, I guess we can spend most of the time, a decent amount of time talking about that because that was the new show this year, which was the big thing, since we've already seen Arrow and Flash for 2 years, Arrow for 4 now.
Yeah.
But my issue was on some of the stuff, like they retold a lot of the stuff, like especially that first episode of stuff that we've already seen. You didn't have to show all this, any really backstory stuff. I mean, it really was... It almost dove too much. Plus the fact I know originally there were supposed to be 13 episodes. Mm-hmm. You could tell they had to skimp off on some stuff when they pushed it to 16 episodes. Mm-hmm. Just leave it at 13. Don't try and get more out of it when you don't need it. Yeah. You would have been able to put more money into it and more special effects, all that stuff, and it definitely hurt it in the long run because there were some parts that it was just like it almost seemed rehashed to me in a sense.
Okay.
It was the poor me type syndrome that I see a lot lately. I mean, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of movies, a lot of things are having that issue lately, like poor me. No, not poor you. We don't care about what you is. We watch this to enjoy it.
Right.
But the characters overall, I mean, there were some epic fight scenes. Epic fight scenes.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess the one thing that I wanted to point out the most was the fact that it's funny how as soon as like Marvel would introduce something or talk about something and they knew it was coming up, DC put it into the show, and it actually started off with Arrow with the Atom coming into it compared to Ant-Man. And then in the show, we know that Ant-Man was supposed to be, or in the movie for Civil War, Ant-Man's supposed to become Giant Man. It's not a spoiler. No, it's not a spoiler. So if you get pissed off for me saying it, you saw it in the Legos.
The movie's been out 3 weeks.
Yeah. Plus also the Legos had it long before. It's everywhere. That's not a big spoiler.
Yeah. No, I don't think that people that are seeing that right now are seeing it for the first time anymore. I think we're past all the first time viewers. So
But in fact, it was funny though that we knew that was going to happen. So all of a sudden, Adam, which only in one comic, as far as when we looked it up, could remember, it was one comic, but he became the giant Adam, I guess you would call it. Giant man. I don't know what you would call him.
Probably not that.
Yeah, that's true because that's already taken.
Large man.
Yeah, large man.
Oversized dude. Good size.
Yeah. Whatever you would call it, but yeah, that was interesting. I thought that was kind of funny how they've had to they feel like they have to go against Marvel for that.
It's a whoop. Yeah, we did it first.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah. But hey, it's overall the show. It was enjoyable at a lot of points. I mean, I just feel like they faltered at more stuff that they could have made better. In a sense, I mean, it was very slow at some points. Some points I'm like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? And then all of a sudden it would finally get good. At least I knew that I would have to sit through it, but I shouldn't have to know that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
No,
when you're watching a show, it shouldn't be like, all right, 20 more minutes until this episode's over. It should be like when it finally ends, you're like, damn it, it's over. Not like, oh, now I can go take a shit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, but and the other issue I had with it was I wasn't a big fan of Rip Hunter.
Really?
I just, for some reason, I just thought there was no character that he built out through the whole thing until like right at the end. Then it finally showed more of his character. It kind of stayed the same, kind of like a level pattern. And I felt like something with you being the guy running this crew, you need to start going up with your character, building it. And then at the end be like, holy shit, what the fuck is this? And it was kind of like, okay, you're in it for your family. Okay, you're in it for your family. You don't give a shit about your crew. You're in it for your family. Oh, you finally learned that it's not just about your family. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, but Vandal Savage, awesome character.
Oh, yeah, I did a really great job on him.
So good.
He was really good.
I mean, and I like the White Canary. I mean, Sarah, she's badass. She's good to look at, I mean, it was nice to show that they showed the after effects from her being resurrected from the Lazarus pit, that they just didn't kind of like blow it off. They kept the character going and they built the character. And that's what, the building of the character in it.
Yeah.
Firestorm. I mean, he was sweet looking.
Oh, they did a really good job with him too.
I'm not trying to sound racist, but he looks better as a black guy.
Yeah.
He really does. I liked him better than Robbie Amell. Robbie Amell, just the eyes and everything, it just didn't fit his look,
Looked like something you'd see in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they did a good job with Jefferson.
Yeah, he was well played. But overall, my highlights of the show was Heatwave and Captain Cold.
Heatwave and Captain Cold, show stealers. It's going to be tough to move forward, with half of that group missing.
Well, before we dive into the characters that much, I know Captain Cold is still a regular on the CW shows next year. CW shows. So he's not gone. It's already been this is not, well, it's overall, this is spoilers for the show, but we're not spoiling anything, that we don't know anything more than that, but he is signed on for a regular for all the shows, which I'm surprised, especially with him coming back out with Prison Break, him and Heatwave, both of them going to be in it. But yeah, he is a regular on the CW shows. So that means he will be in Flash, he will be in Arrow and Legends tomorrow. So he's going to be hopping back and forth.
Very interesting.
Yes. I'm curious because you can't lose a character like that. They were so perfect.
Oh, they were really good.
I mean, it was every time they were on the screen, it's like, what are they going to do next? What's going to happen? How are they going to? And their acting was right on.
Yeah, you could tell that they've built a rapport. Co-starring on Prison Break together for 4 seasons.
Yeah,
and then coming on this show, they definitely have a really good back and forth, and their timing works really well with one another.
Yeah,
and there's obviously a friendship there off screen that you can get a sense for. So when they're playing, best friends, it's not unbelievable. But oh man, I thought Heatwave was my favorite character on the whole show, dude. Like everything he said was just freaking hilarious. He was just so damn funny.
And he didn't mean to be funny.
No,
That's
he was
his whole
just
thing.
he's like the straight man. You know, you have like when a typical comedy duo, you have like the wacky guy and then you have the straight man. And he was perfect.
Yeah.
It's just deadpan and serious all the time, and that's what I felt made it so funny. And every time someone would like do something nice for him or whatever, and he just pretty much come back with, "Oh, I'm still gonna kill you." You know? Like he just has that attitude, and you're just like, "Oh, this guy's just so good."
That's why I'm curious how he's gonna be next season, especially with the way how he ended up his character. I mean, he doesn't have. I mean, Captain Cold's gonna be there, but he's not gonna be in Legends tomorrow. Heatwave is still in Legends. I mean, we've already seen, of course. Spoiling into the final episode, we've already seen the new character that's going to be joining the team. Yeah, we already know that, which is we're Our Man jumping into Justice Society, which Our Man overall isn't a good character. I don't believe. I don't care about a guy that gets his powers for an hour at a time. Yeah, whatever. We've been there, we've done that, we've seen them make those things, but. The guy, I'm drawing a blank on his name, that plays the character, I have watched him in Suits, and I've watched that show that's got him in Popular and stuff. So good. So good of an actor overall. He played his character in there very, very well. And that's why when I heard he was going to come on the show, I was like, oh, yes, I am good. I am down for that. Nice. But Justice Society, that was out of left field.
Yeah, that was completely unexpected.
Yeah, I mean,
like, all right, what's going to happen? Wave Rider's coming. Oh, great. They're coming back from the future again to tell them, hey, remember when you did this? It actually made it worse, so fix it again. So, all right. But then, no, this, young guy comes out, and he's got this weird suit, and he's like, don't get on there. Yeah. And you're like, what? And then he tells you who he is, and it's like, wow, really? Mm-hmm. Like, holy crap, they're really just going all in, aren't they? Yeah,
they're like, fuck it, let's do it.
We're gonna throw them in there.
I wonder if, they couldn't even, and the thing is, they couldn't really switch any of it to adapt with Supergirl coming over there, because that literally happened the same exact time almost. They found that out as the show was going on, so it's not like they could have changed it. Yeah. Because I know there was a lot of talk about that with Supergirl coming over. Hey, now we can look into Justice Society. We can't have obviously do to Justice League because of the movies, but now we can do Justice Society. Yeah. But they wouldn't have had the time to do that. I mean,
yeah, to go in and change it and switch stuff up. Nah.
Yeah.
They clearly were going to, whether they got Supergirl on CW or not, they were clearly going to move forward with JSA, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's, I don't know enough about it, but I do know enough about it in that sense. But I'm glad to see them do something that big, and hopefully it will lead into a lot more stuff. I mean, does that mean we're going to see a lot more of like Vixen coming back, because she's a very big character. I don't know how big she is in Justice Society or anything like that, or if she's been in it, but the fact that she would be a good addition to a team like that, building her. Constantine, because he was in Dark Justice Society or Dark Justice League, wasn't it?
I couldn't tell you.
Is it Dark Justice League or Dark Justice Society? I know they had the dark version of one of them.
I have no idea.
So, but he was a part of it. It was all with like the Swamp Thing and the monsters and stuff like that. I can't remember, but he was along with them because that worked, of course, with his character and all that. So I don't know.
How sweet would it be if we got Swamp Thing on the CW?
Yeah, I would love it. I would love it.
Holy whoa!
What the fuck? Yeah, that would be awesome. That would definitely be awesome. I'd be down for that. Yeah. I guess, I mean, we don't want to go into episode by episode or anything. It's not worth
really.
it. It's mostly
highlights and characters and shit.
Although, now actually speaking of that, the one character that they do need to bring back, one character that was in only one episode, but he was badass looking and he was perfect. Jonah Hex.
Jonah Hex, yeah.
Oh my God, dude, that would be perfect to have him in more.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, because he knows what's going on. It's not like he's oblivious to it. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he knows he knows Rip Hunter. He knows about time travel and people from the future and stuff. Like they could totally use him in some way.
Yeah, yeah.
And he looked awesome, and that was a good episode. That was one of my favorite episodes. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing more Jonah Hex. I wouldn't mind seeing less Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Yeah, they weren't. But they're gone anyways. You saw. I mean, they're pretty much not gonna. They're gonna. They're not season regulars anymore. Is what they call it. So
good.
Yeah.
So they'll just come back. Yeah. I didn't really find them very compelling.
I think they're saving them for the Thanagarian Wars.
Yeah.
That are going to come up. You know that's going to happen. They can't. You cannot talk about that and then not do anything. Yeah. It's just like in Flash, you know, with Grodd and Gorilla City. Mm-hmm. You know they're going to do a lot more Gorilla City. But yeah,
do more. Yeah.
Thanagarian Wars. That's why I was so disappointed that they really didn't focus a lot more on that for her character. I know Hawkman, the guy that played him, was awful. I thought he was just. I didn't like his acting job. Nothing. You know, he wasn't good at all. So I wish they at least would have focused on Hawkgirl a lot more. You know, and especially she's, I feel, a lot bigger character in the DC universe anyways.
I think she's very recognizable because Hawkgirl is such a mainstay on all the Justice League cartoons.
That's true.
She always shows up, more so than Hawkman, because you already have like 5 dudes that can fly.
Yeah.
You know, the Justice League alone, just like the regular lineup, you have Superman, you have Green Lantern, you have Martian Manhunter. Like all 3 of those are men that can fly.
Yeah.
And then you have Wonder Woman. So it's like Hawkgirl is always kind of the token extra female character. So I think a lot of people that draw a lot of their knowledge from the cartoons, you know, that were kids watching cartoons, now they're teenagers watching CW, they know who she is.
Mm.
Oh, well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but hey, no, it's if they don't do the Thanagarian Wars coming up, I'll be disappointed because that's huge. I would love to see all these Hawkmen and Hawkwomen coming out.
Freaking awesome.
I don't know how much budget they have for that because that's got to take a lot of budget. But
they'll just have to cut it down to 10 episodes.
Yeah.
So 16. Yeah. Give it a little bit less episodes, a little higher production value. Show us some stuff really awesome. Yeah. You know, why not?
Daredevil, Jessica Jones. They're all 10 episodes.
Or 13 episodes.
Or 13 episodes. Yeah.
So 13 episodes
even 13.
Instead of 16.
Yeah. That's what they were supposed to do, you know? I mean, look at HBO does it perfect with 10 episodes. Mm-hmm. You know, they find a way, even though I might not like all the shows they do, they still find a way to make their shows work in those 10 episodes and explain enough. Yeah. You know? But, of course, they don't have commercials, too, so they can fit more into it.
53-minute episodes versus a 40-minute episode, you know? There's 13 extra minutes each time.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, exactly. So... But I guess we'll see. I guess, you know.
So any other last thoughts then on Legends of Tomorrow?
Not that I can think of.
You're excited for season 2.
Uh-huh.
You enjoyed season 1 enough.
Uh-huh.
I think I enjoyed season 1 a little bit more just because of the humor from Heatwave. Like, that show made me crack up way more than Arrow or Flash.
Uh-huh.
So
I can see that.
Especially because it came on in the second half. So as Flash and as Arrow are getting darker, we got Legends of Tomorrow and Heatwave's making me laugh my ass off every episode. So I'm going to give it a little bit more for the humor factor. And I'm excited for season 2. And I'm glad that they're not necessarily getting rid, but the characters that I like the least are going to be in it less. Uh-huh. So excellent. Mm-hmm. Leaves the door open for more characters that I'm really excited to see. So
yeah. And even if they're not going to have one of the characters there on the show there exactly, he's still going to be in every other show, still making his presence known.
Yeah.
So, you know, it works. It works out well. I guess let's move on to, I don't know, talk about Arrow.
Let's do Arrow, yeah. Let's save the best for last.
Yeah.
Obviously, Flash is a show that both of us gave A, you know, A, if not better than A. So, let's talk Arrow because we're a little bit different on that.
Well, we were close, though. I mean, I gave it a B-. So, and you gave it B-. You said.
Yeah,
or was it B?
So, yeah. No, I think I said B-.
Yeah. So it was. I mean, it wasn't an awful season by any means.
No,
I mean,
not at all.
it was definitely not awful. It was still enjoyable. I still like Stephen Amell. I mean, I think he's such a great actor. Funny thing is, I have him on Snapchat, which you should download Snapchat and see his Snapchats, because it is hilarious, some of the stuff, because he still brings kind of to some of the character, but he's also been promoting Turtles on there and stuff, but it's
nice,
hilarious on some of his stuff. Like, he'll do some of the filters, like he had some like pink dress on today with some hat and everything. Oh, it was great. Maybe it was yesterday I saw it, but yeah, I mean, it's great. So nice. you should check him out. He's a trip. Yeah. And
I think I've seen some of like his tweets and stuff, and he just loves the fact that he's in a comic book show, man. He just loves it.
Yeah, he knows that fans hate it when the stars don't do the stuff themselves. That's why he does everything himself. I mean, it's him. It's not anyone else. He doesn't give a shit how busy he is. He's going to give back to the fans.
Yeah,
that's how he is. You know, even if he is super busy. But he still was a great character. Great character. I still enjoyed him. My only downfall with him this season was it was kind of a little bit repetitive compared to the last seasons too, of the same thing, going through the same stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the poor me syndrome is what I'm calling it, you know.
Well, and it's like, oh no, Star City is going to get destroyed again. So for 4 seasons in a row, we've had Star City. It's like, I get that he's the protector of Star City, and I know that, like, you know, season 2 was personal, and even season 3 to an extent was personal, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me see him taking it in a different direction. Maybe not threaten Star City. Do it make it more global.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
It
seems kind of like a cheap complaint, and I don't know. I just felt that the season, I think, moved a little too slowly, and they could have done more, or they could have made the stakes higher, or I'm not really quite sure. It was like it's missing something, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I didn't enjoy season 4 as much as I enjoyed 3 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't think I enjoyed season 4 as much as I enjoyed season 1, but I still really liked the season. I liked where they took Arrow, where they took him from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. Mm-hmm. I've liked the character growth. And like you said, Stephen Amell, he's still very much on top of his game, and he's still freaking nailing the role. So he's doing a really great job. I think that they kind of fell short with some of the other characters, particularly Diggle. It seems that they just forced a lot of drama onto his character development, what with bringing back his brother and then all the stuff that was going on with Lila. As far as Thea goes, I feel that she grew in the beginning, especially with her bloodlust, and then as soon as they solved her bloodlust, she kind of fell off as a character. And then as far as Laurel goes, I thought that they had done some good things with her as well, and then of course we all know what happens to her with Damien Dark killing her, but
yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Don't watch Don't watch the end of season review.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're going to be talking about stuff that happens in the season. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, and I like the way they ended it. You know, with pretty much everybody leaving Team Arrow, so now it's just him again. You know, so I think that we're going to get to see some more of his crusade on a personal level rather than Team Arrow protecting Star City. So I'm excited for season 5.
I guess with the ending, I was disappointed because it was almost a repeat of last year, though, except he left instead of them leaving. So they just flipped the script, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, which brings me to believe they're all going to be back. So it's going to be kind of like a pointless thing. Like, why do it? You know.
They might be able to have those characters go off and meet other characters. You know, we know that Thea's leaving. Maybe Thea's going to go to try to track down Roy, and she's going to meet some other characters that they can bring onto the show. Same thing with Diggle. You know, we saw him in his military uniform, so he's going back into the military. At least that's, I mean, like, he's not going to throw on his dress uniform for no reason so that he can like move to Oregon and start being a berry farmer. Like, obviously, he's going back into the military or something.
Do you think maybe it was for him burying his brother? Because wasn't his brother military?
Yeah, but his brother's already believed dead. And considering how he pretty much murdered Andy in cold blood, I don't think that he would be putting him to rest.
See, I was just thinking that maybe he was doing that just to close it, to get the closure. Because remember when he noticed his face on the guy that he was going to shoot and he couldn't shoot him, maybe this is what he's going to do to help close it too. Like he's trying to give him that proper burial to remember the good part of him and forget the bad part.
Maybe.
I mean, it's just an idea. I mean,
yeah.
And speaking of like going off him, Damien Dark, he was okay. That's why I had to leave for a second because I wanted to bring out, and I'm hoping my nephew's going to watch this to kind of just tease him a little bit, have a little fun, because this is his gift for his birthday when I go down to the Springs next Sunday. Ooh. But my favorite, of course, character, if you can see, Deathstroke.
Nice.
I got him the pop figure that's part of his birthday gift, so maybe he'll see it and be like a little tease for him.
That's awesome.
Tell my brother about it.
That's awesome.
But you obviously, if you listen to this on iTunes, you can't see. Yeah, it is, like I said, the Deathstroke pop figure. I've got him a couple other ones. I've got him Arrow Unmasked, Arrow Masked. I think I got him Flash already. I forget the other ones that I got him, but I got him into collecting pop figures. So
very cool.
Yeah, he loves it. But yeah, I saw this one. I'm like, I gotta get it for him.
Nice.
Gotta get it for him.
Nice. That's awesome. That's a good one. Deathstroke.
Yeah.
He's been the best villain so far.
I mean, he was my favorite. The only reason why he's not on the show anymore and he won't be coming back is because of the movies. And that's what they said. That's why they got rid of him, is because of the movies. So that's why Suicide Squad on there is no longer on the show, and why Amanda Waller was killed is because of that. Because we were going to get Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And then they decided, let's do a movie.
Let's do a movie instead. Oh, damn.
Like, well, then put them in both. You know what? Maybe Jeff Johns is going to change his mind. Maybe we're going to see the Flash in the movies plus the TV all of a sudden. I hope.
It seems like the biggest criticism for DC is the fact that their television and their movie universes are different.
Yeah.
But one of DC's calling cards, like one of the things that sets DC apart from like any other comic company, is the fact that they have such an established multiverse in the comics. And we know that they've already been talking about it on Flash with, Earth 1 and Earth 2, and then now with Earth 3. So, okay, so there's 3 Earths.
Actually,
plus
Earth 4.
Supergirl. Because she has to be from a different Earth now, especially with her coming to CW. So that's 4 Earths. Why not make the movie universe Earth 5 or Earth Prime?
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Like, how many simultaneous nerdgasms would happen across America if Jeff Johns came out and said, hey, 5 years down the road, Crisis on Infinite Earths, crossover between the TV fucking shows and the movies.
The skies wouldn't be painted blue anymore. They'd be painted white.
But like, take that,
the guys
Marvel,
all the nerds would splooge all over the place. It'd be white instead of blue skies.
That would pretty much be a slap in the face to Marvel. It's like, hey, Marvel, awesome. You're doing such a great job with your one universe and your TV shows that tie into your one universe.
Yeah.
Well, our fans are getting a fucking multiverse.
That's true. That would be awesome. That would definitely be sick. But I guess we can see more of that next season, see how they're going to do it, especially with bringing Supergirl into it. You can't... I don't want to... We'll hold off for a minute on that. Let me finish up on Arrow first. Talking about that, because there's a lot we could get in with Flash. So that's my main focus of this, because that's what we enjoyed the most. I don't know. I guess I enjoyed Speedy this season. I like that she took the Speedy role. It was cool to see Thea come along from where she was.
Yeah.
I just still think there's still something holding her back from really breaking out of her complete shell. She's poked her head through. She's poked it through. Yeah, it's like she's turtled it.
She's groundhogging it.
Yeah, groundhogging it. Yeah.
She it was one of the things I was saying to the empty microphone across from me when you went upstairs. Was I felt that they did a really great job with her, especially early, with having her get past her bloodlust and having her grow into the role of Speedy, and then she stalled.
Yeah,
the character just stalled out.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see where they take her. I don't know. I saw some stuff on Twitter that like the dude that plays Arsenal was saying, why he left the CW and all this stuff. So I don't know if that means that he's not going to be coming back because he's not happy. But I would love to see them two together.
That would be cool.
I mean, they're great together. I like the actors together. I think that they have great chemistry, so it's believable in the characters. And the fact that they're both, Red Arrows, Arsenal and Speedy, it's like it would make perfect sense to maybe have them be like this cross-country, not Bonnie and Clyde because they're criminals, but this kind of cross-country vigilantes.
Yeah.
Like wandering samurai
sweet.
that you see in like a lot of the old spaghetti westerns.
But do the two of them really have enough to take on like their own show in that sense?
I think if they were like traveling, like 'cause Green Arrow is Robin Hood, right? But we haven't gotten the whole rob from the rich to give to the poor yet in Arrow, which is kind of ironic considering the character in the comic books is very socially conscious.
Yeah.
We could see them take on that role, like obviously they don't want to be tied down to a city, but we can see them going from town to town in these poor areas and realizing like, crap, we can do something. Let's do some good. We can stop these 2-bit criminals town to town. True. And eventually they could tie that in with whatever's happening with Arrow, that they stumble across some scheme,
Yeah. Maybe make it like a mini series.
Ooh, that would be cool.
I don't know if I could see because Legends of Tomorrow, the only reason why it's shorter is because they have to put so much money into the budget for special effects. Other than that, they're a 23-episode show across the board. That's how they do it. So, unless it's like a first season like they did with iZombie. I think iZombie's second season was short too. Because it ended without me even realizing that was a season finale. So obviously it wasn't that big of a season finale. But they ended it sooner than I expected. Mm-hmm. So I think they only did 16 episodes maybe on that too. But on the other hand, that is a lot of special effects too for creating the zombie parts and, all the stuff that they got to do. That could be why. But yeah, if they did like a mini series, I don't know if I could watch them for 23 episodes.
No, I'm not saying do the whole season as them. I'm saying like every few episodes, give them 15 or 20 minutes every few episodes of them doing their own thing and eventually tying it. They have to come back to Star City to help Ollie with whoever's threatening Star City now. But True. I mean, the show is called Arrow, and technically they're both Arrows also.
That's true. That's
so
true.
It would make sense following them around.
Yeah, that's true. It's a matter. I mean, I guess. I mean, it would be interesting. But we see how long they went with going on outside the city with even just the main character of the whole entire show. That was what, 2 episodes? Yeah. Before the third episode, they came back this season. So they obviously don't want to take it away from the city too much. They're too worried about that.
They really love Star City.
Yeah.
They love that city.
Do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, Diggle. I'm a Diggle fan. I have been a Diggle fan. I've always liked him. He's always been that rock in the show that he's there. He's going to be solid. And it was nice to see him finally crack.
He faltered. He faltered freaking hard, man.
Yes. And it was awesome. I'm not saying I would want to see it in someone in real life. I'm not that much of a dick, but yeah, it was awesome to see him finally show that soft side and be like, okay, so Diggle isn't as hardcore as we thought. It's just it's not a facade because he is a badass. I mean, he will fuck you up because he was Special Forces in the Army. Yeah. You get a fight with him, you're screwed. But
really, I mean, the only person on Team Arrow that can beat Diggle is Arrow himself.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Speaking of that, actually, to go into, I was a little disappointed. They showed the one time when he faced Dark and he showed his mystical powers, and then that was it. If they don't go more into it next season to kind of lead off of that, then I'm going to be like, what was the point of even showing that? Because that kind of seems like it would be dead in the water in the sense like you could go a lot more into it, but why show it even? What's the point?
Yeah. If they don't develop it more, then it was pretty much just the MacGuffin of the season.
Yeah.
The way it's the one thing that we need to beat the bad guy. And we're never going to talk about it again.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about it before.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't mind seeing the flashbacks be done, but obviously we know that next year we're going to see flashbacks when he's in Russia and with his ties to the Bratva and all that. So we'll get that. At least it's not the island. But I get tired of the flashbacks, you know?
Yeah. But it's cool because, like, especially this year, they tied a lot more heavily into what the main story was.
So, and that's what I don't like about it.
You know, see, I enjoyed it because it made it worth watching.
It's weird because it's like, hey, season 1, funnily enough, this ties in with the first year that he was on the island. And then now that he's been back for 2 years, wouldn't you know it, everything that happened in the second year on the island now has to deal with him being back in Star City his second year. Like, mix it up, man.
Yeah.
Like, give us some flashbacks that don't tie into this season and then forget about it for 2 years. Yeah. And then when it comes to Star City, it's like, oh, man, that was when he was on the island way back when.
Yeah. True.
Instead, it's like every year he was on the island corresponds to every, like, here we are 4 years back from Star City and there's magic. Oh, but that's cool because when he was on the island his 4th year, he also dealt with this same exact totem. Like, that's getting old.
Yeah.
It's getting tired.
And that's why it's nice to see him go to Russia in a different setting, different, all that.
Yeah.
And at least Amanda Waller's still in those parts.
Yep. Yeah. So we're still getting Cynthia Dyer Robinson, beautiful actress.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to say no to more Waller.
Yeah, I won't complain. A lot better than what the normal Amanda Waller is in a lot of the
comic books
and comic books.
Yeah, or she's more like the lady from Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
the new Ghostbusters.
Yes. So something for us to look at. But it is CW, and there's not too often where there's not many characters that you don't want to look at.
That's true.
Even the guys, you're like, dude, he is.
Handsome. It's like, you know what? All right, okay, all right.
Yeah. If he wanted to sleep with me,
if I was in prison with that dude,
to say no.
Yeah, you're like, if I'm in prison, I hope that I'm in a cell with that dude.
Be like, I would be loving life in prison.
Oh boy!
Wow. And with that note, I guess we've kind of went over all the characters. I don't know. There's not much more. I mean, we kind of explained how we thought about the season. Next season, who do you think the big bad is? Because they really didn't leave it open for that.
I have no idea.
I don't know either. Last year we knew it was Damien Dark.
Because
we knew that was coming because he was already introduced before Ollie or the Arrow.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul pretty much flat out named him. Yeah. He's like, I used to have a partner or like a best friend, and he left, and his name was Damien Dark, and he's a dick. And you're like, all right.
Yeah.
And then like 2 weeks after the show ended, they announced, hey, we cast Neil McDonough as Damien Dark. And we're like, okay.
There we go.
But yeah, there really weren't any hints, subtle or otherwise, to what's coming up. We know that they're pretty much taking all of Batman's D-list villains and throwing them to the Arrow. So I don't know, maybe we'll see like Solomon Grundy or some random stuff.
We won't see him because he's supposed to be in season 3 of Gotham.
Okay.
And they're not going to cross in that sense. They've done some characters in the crossing in that way, but they haven't done him in the same year because it's too confusing then.
That makes sense. Yeah, you don't want to have Grundy if okay. All right.
And you'll see once you I'm not going to spoil all of Gotham, but you need to catch up on that so we can kind of go through some of this. Yeah, I know. There's
I have 3 shows to replace.
Yeah,
so
no kidding,
I have Supergirl, I have Gotham, I got one other slot here.
Agents.
Oh yeah. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Well, I'm already like halfway through Agents.
Okay, good. Good. I mean, you still got Carter, but you don't have to worry about that really hurrying too quickly.
I don't have to catch up to the next season. It's done. So yeah.
Unfortunately, Gotham. You'll see why he's going to be in there. You'll understand
why Grundy's going to be in. Right on.
Yeah, it'll make sense from where it's coming from and all that stuff.
We do know that Kevin Smith, who directed an episode of The Flash, and we'll talk about that when we move to The Flash, but he has come out on social media and said that he would like to not direct Arrow, but write a few episodes of Arrow because, obviously we know that he wrote at least the story arc, if not more, of Green Arrow in the comics, and it was like the highest selling Green Arrow story up to that time or whatever. But one of the characters that was a villain he created specifically in Green Arrow named Automatopoeia, he's come out and said that he wants to write at least 2 episodes of Arrow dealing with that character. So
Yeah.
that's one villain that we might possibly see.
Yeah, but
as far as that, like, I'm not familiar with Green Arrow comics.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest.
Well, I'm trying to think of even Batman.
Even other Batman villains that they could do, like Red Hood, but I can't see them doing that in Arrow.
Yeah.
If they're going to do Red Hood at all, it's going to be in Gotham.
Red Hood's actually Red Hood's supposedly been in Gotham. Already.
Right,
also, he is supposedly in the Batman movie too.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, that's the thing we have to keep in mind. Like, you know, they've pretty much said we're not going to do it in A if we're already doing it in B or whatever, and we know that there's going to be solo Batman movies coming out now.
Really, real quickly to go off that. It's not spoiler because it was said finally. It was Jason Todd that did die. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh.
That Batman little in the movie when you see the Robin suit, that was Jason Todd.
So all the
Red Hood, there you go.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well,
yeah.
Who else would it have been?
Yeah.
You know.
True. So I just had to put that little in there, but I really don't know. I can't think of anyone else. I mean, it's really there's no big.
I want to see him just blow it wide fucking open and bring in like Starro.
I don't know familiar enough with Starro even. You know?
He is a starfish from space.
Yeah. Hey,
and like Justice League #1, that's who they came together to fight, was this like starfish that was invading Earth.
Yeah.
Like, do something like that. Just something just completely off the wall, you know? Like, if they could do it in any of the shows, Legends, probably they can get away with it more. But like, they've done freaking like Afterlife and Magic on Arrow now. Like, why not aliens? Like, they could do aliens in Arrow and we would believe it.
Yeah.
Bring in like Abin Sur and Parallax and lead into a Green Lantern show. I mean, we're still 4 years away from Green Lantern Corps.
That's true.
And they've said that it's going to be 3 Green Lanterns in the movie.
3 Earth Green Lanterns.
Right. Yeah. So John Stewart, Hal Jordan, and everyone expects Kyle Rayner. So
actually, no.
Throw fucking Guy Gardner.
No. Yeah. My theory, real quick, we won't dive into it, is the new Green Lantern that was just introduced. It's a female.
Oh, okay.
Why not? Oh, it's strong females are the new thing, and it's good to see it. They'll put a female.
Cool.
Because
so
they'll get that female crowd in there for it. So
we'll get John Stewart, of course, you know, because they have to have the black guy, and John Stewart is, I'm kind of 50-50 between him and Hal as my favorite Green Lantern anyway. So we have to get I mean, you can't do Green Lantern without Hal. Like, so
John Stewart, Hal Jordan. Yeah.
John Stewart, Hal Jordan, and, you know, female Green Lantern.
Her name, but
I don't, Carol Ferris maybe. I don't know, who knows.
I didn't like the other guy. Freaking
Guy Gardner,
the
fucking dick.
Yeah, you think of like Guy Ritchie or some shit like that, you know? No,
Guy Gardner, pretty much, he's just a dick. Like, that's his character. Like, that's his characterization. Like, the dude's a dick. But why not throw like Kyle Rayner or Guy Gardner in there, and don't even go into the Green Lantern Corps? Just this alien shows up, gives him a thing, he becomes a superhero on Earth. You don't have to go into the whole space thing with the Corps. Let the movie deal with that. But we've had references to Ferris Air. We've had references to a missing pilot. Why not bring in Green Lantern?
Yeah.
And
true.
I mean, the Green Arrow and Green Lantern was like a big comic book series for a long time, with them two like pretty much traveling across America, Jack Kerouac style, being superheroes. Why not bring in Green Lantern?
I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. And with that note, I guess we might as well dive into our favorite show.
Yeah,
The Flash. I mean, if you've followed me on social media or anything like that, or anything I've said, Walking Dead was overall my favorite show for the last couple of years, hands down. And this season, Flash took it. It really did. It was that fucking good. I blew my load more than once per episode, even sometimes. You know, it was just that damn good. There was nothing really that you could fault the show really much for doing. No. Every episode was just one after another, and they kept bringing in, and they stuck so close to what the comics wanted to show, in the sense, and a lot of those characters, they had to alter some stuff here and there, which that's TV to comics. It's going to happen. Shit happens.
Medium to medium. That's how it goes.
But I mean, it was just that fucking good.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed every minute of it.
There wasn't a single bad episode. It started off good, as expected. It got great really fast, and it stayed a great show. And
Yeah.
just like you, Walking Dead pretty much has been my favorite show on TV for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I've watched other shows, and the only other shows that I've really liked about as much are like the comedy shows that I've watched that are out there, like Modern Family for a while, New Girl. I really love that show. It's hilarious. But like as far as just like good shows that I like as a nerd, like there really wasn't anything other than Walking Dead, like Game of Thrones, I guess, for a little while. I got bored with that show after 3 seasons. But yeah, it's been Walking Dead. And last year, 5 or 10 or however many episodes into the first season, when you finally convinced me to pick it up and watch it, and I loved it and it was good, but it still wasn't my favorite show. This season, I have been excited for every episode that's come out, and I have loved every episode that's come out. It's just one of those things that it's been so good every single time we watch it.
And who would have thought you could finish off a season with a moment that was so repetitive, but it was holy shit, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Type thing. Like, it was repetitive, but it was a good repetitive.
Well, and
it
especially for those of us that have an idea of what's to come.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we don't know exactly how they're going to take that story, but what happened, the very last the scene before the series, it's not the series, before the season ended, the very last scene of the very last episode, it set up everything, you know? And it's like, holy crap, they can go in any direction they want. And for those of us, again, that have like a brief idea of what's to come, we're so fucking excited.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit.
I mean, the multiverse. I mean, who would have ever expected to see that on TV before you saw it in the movies?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so perfect, and it works so well, especially with everything else they have coming, like Supergirl, coming into the whole mix, already knowing there's 3 other Earths on top of that. And not knowing how if they're gonna incorporate the movies or not in the sense down the road or something like that, But it was just every episode, every actor, every person throughout, especially when they took all the characters that they used for Legends from the show, when they were still on the show before it went over to Legends, was awesome. I mean, they all fit in well, and they played them well, and fit those characters into the episodes, and they fit how they left well.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great. It was great. I mean, there's nothing.
Ooh, I actually do have one complaint.
What?
Patty is gone.
Oh, yeah. Well, she was hot, but yeah.
She was like my favorite character.
I know. I was kind of surprised that she left so soon. I was hoping she was going to be
She was on for a few episodes, and then she left, and then like he went to the train, and I figured like, she loves him, she'll come back, and
yeah.
I love Patty.
But it had to be set up for him and Iris.
Yeah, which again, it's like, all right, I'm over it.
We'll take it. I
miss looking at Patty, but as far as like for Flash,
yeah,
this is finally going to happen.
Hey,
all right.
Are we going to see their kids in the future?
What I want anyway.
Yeah. Are we going to see their kids in the future? What's their names? God, I can't think of them from the comics.
I can't. Yeah.
I can't think of them.
I know that Bart Allen is his grandson.
Yeah, Bart Allen's his grandson, so we might see him in the whole for a mix.
Dude,
which
my
would be
God.
sick. Because he's awesome in the cartoon when he comes back in Young Justice, which you haven't seen.
No, I haven't
you got to watch Young Justice. But he is perfect for it. I mean, he is so perfect on how he shows up and fits into the whole mix and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, that would be awesome to see him show up.
So we know that Teen Titans isn't going to happen on whatever network it was. It was, I can't remember. It was like TNT or TBS or USA or
TBS
one of those.
is the drama one. TNT is the comedy one, so it's TBS.
TBS.
I think so, or it might be switched, but it was either TBS or TNT because
one
one's
of
comedy, one's drama.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was on one of them, and we pretty much know that Berlanti was given a green light to use any of those characters.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he's got 4 shows on the CW now, but how fucking awesome would it be to bring Impulse in for a couple episodes of The Flash and then do a spinoff with Titans? I'm getting way too excited.
Impulse has been, I heard he's been tossed around, so you never know. I mean, we still have 2 people on the show that are potential speedsters. I mean, Jesse Quick. I mean it's Wally
Jesse
West.
Yeah. Hello? What?
Come on. But on the other hand, you got to also remember that they have time and time again said Flash is the speedster. He is the only speedster that's going to be completely on the show, and doing every episode. So if you're going to keep Jesse Quick and Wally West in there, they're going to have to find some other way to work them in, especially if they're going to be series regulars, which we don't know about Jesse Quick, but they did come out and say yesterday or the day before Tom Cavanaugh is a series regular next year.
Yep.
Still. My thing is we're not going to see the Tom Cavanaugh that we were used to from this past season because of the whole multiverse. We're going to see Reverse Flash again.
It doesn't even have, but with
That's
the
what I see.
Could be with the way that it ended. With spoiler alert, why are you listening?
Yeah,
still?
why are you
Okay?
listening to this point?
But
anyways?
I'm still gonna say it because it's still, this happened like earlier this week, and it's still such a major event that I want to at least make sure that people are forewarned. With Barry going back and saving his mom, and starting Flashpoint. If we go back in season 3, that whole timeline is now gone. Obviously, Flash is going to have to fix it at some point, but we might see Earth 1 Harrison Wells again, the actual Harrison Wells that was killed by Zoom.
Yeah.
And replaced by, not Zoom, I'm sorry, Reverse Flash in season 1. Because we know that Harrison Wells on Earth 1 was killed pretty much right about the same time that Barry's mom was killed.
Yeah, true.
So
we could see it, yeah.
Tom Cavanaugh can come back on Earth 1 where we're not going to see Jesse Quick because she's on Earth 2. So he can come back as a series regular in this new timeline and still be Harrison Wells, but Harrison Wells as he should have been if he hadn't been replaced by Reverse Flash.
True. I mean, I have a feeling we're going to see the Flash without his powers for a while just because it's going to get also delete season 1. I mean, because no matter what, he becomes a Flash no matter what.
Right.
It's just he sped it up,
even
the process.
Well, even the Speed Force is pretty much like, dude, you are the Flash.
Yeah.
And there's not a damn thing you can do. So he went back and saved his mom. He's still going to become the Flash.
Yeah, it just might be farther down the road. So it's curious how that's going to all happen. His relationships, everything's going to change. His whole dad going into jail. I mean, I could say the one thing, as long as we see the real Jay Garrick come back, because when I saw him put on that, he's all standing tall with his chin up and everything.
Pants
like,
and his
red.
So
God.
can I just say, go back and listen to our last DCCW podcast. I'm pretty sure I haven't listened. I'm pretty sure I said the man in the mask was Jay Garrick from Earth 3. Go back and listen, and someone tell me if I was right. I said that. I'm pretty damn sure I said that.
We'll have to listen. I don't know if we want to prove it or not because your head will just get bigger anyways. But
if I'm right, I'll be like, "Ha I am the king of nerds." And people are like, "No, dude, you're a douchebag in a kitchen."
Yeah, basically. Yes.
You're not Chris Hardwick, you dickhead.
True. No, it was kind of as the season went on, it was obvious. I mean, you couldn't hide much more, especially once you found out that it was Hunter Zolomon, Zoom, and all that. Then you're like, okay, that's Jay Garrick.
Well, and if you still weren't certain, like 3 episodes ago, Henry says, "Oh, Garrick was my mother's maiden name." Mm-hmm. He wouldn't have said that if it didn't have to do with something.
Yeah.
So,
the twist though that I was surprised about was that he still had his powers. That's I was shocked about.
Well, there was a dampener in the helmet. I mean, Cisco said
we didn't. I thought that Zoom would have taken his powers like he did with Barry, and with him being tied up in the mask and all that kind of stuff. What the hell would have went on? So it was like, okay, why? Okay, he still got his power. That's awesome. You know? That's cool to see. He's an old man, and he looked like I never really watched the series, but I had seen pictures and I had seen bits and pieces, and he looked just like from there. I mean, I know it changed some on his costume, but it looked like he was
the
still
blue pants and everything. And then of course they gave him the helmet, so now he has the helmet. Mm-hmm. Jay Garrick is a member of the Justice Society of America, so I wonder. We know he might not be able to get back to his Earth. Maybe he has to come back to Earth 1. Join the Justice Society.
Could be.
Never
That'd be pretty
know.
sick. He's on DC Legends of Tomorrow.
That would be cool.
I would be down
even
for
for a few episodes. Like
they did say there's only one speedster on Flash.
They didn't say there ain't speedsters on other shows.
That's true. Huh.
Jesse Quick also in the Justice Society. I'm just throwing that out there.
True. I guess we'll see. I mean, with Supergirl in the mix, she's part of the Justice Society at points too. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Terrific. He's been an Arrow this whole time, so
he is a series regular next year on Arrow. They did say that. So
very cool. Very cool. Very cool.
But that's also because of Laurel died. They need, more characters and
right?
whatnot.
And with Thea like, I'm gone, and Diggle like, hey, peace out.
Yeah. So we knew it was coming. I mean, I liked him too.
Oh yeah, he was great character.
And I'm not saying they had to do this, but making him a gay character, it was pretty interesting. It made it a little bit of a different twist. I thought that was pretty sweet. Yeah, that was sweet. That was not what you'd expect. No. And I'm glad to see shows do like that stuff.
Oh, and they made a great joke with it too. The one scene where Ollie comes in, and he looks at him and he sees him and he's like, "You're a married man. You're a married man. You're a married man," and he's straight. It was a perfect joke, dude.
Yes, it was. It was. No, but the Flash. The only one character that they didn't put in it that they said they were going to, which we'll probably see next season, was Mirror Master. I mean, they were supposed to put him in the season. They said they were going to, so he got moved to next season.
Nice.
Which he's a big rogue character.
He's a big rogue,
very big rogue character.
That's one of the things why this show has so much potential too is because they have such a great core of characters that are both funny and serious and compelling. But in the comics, Flash has the second best group of rogues behind Batman in DC.
That's true.
And there are still so many rogues of his that we haven't seen yet to their fullest extent or even at all.
Yeah. As long as next year, Gorilla Grodd is a huge character.
I need to see more Gorilla Grodd.
We need some more Gorilla
They've done
City.
so well with him.
Yeah. I mean, of course, it's all about money because that takes a lot to special effects for him. But seeing a whole episode about Gorilla City, somehow they end up in Gorilla City. Dude, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Really awesome.
I would definitely be down for that. I would definitely. I do wish they did a little more with Siren. Is that her name? No, that was Black Canary.
Yeah, Black Siren.
Black Siren, that's it. Yeah. I wish they would have done a little more with her. But I have a feeling with the whole ending, Laurel might be back. We don't know. Because if he messed with the timeline, there's going to have to be ripple effects in the other shows. There has to be. You cannot get around that.
You can't do Flashpoint
Yeah.
without it affecting the other shows.
It's going to be more heavily done on, of course, Flash, but we're going to see a ripple effect in the other shows.
There will have to be ramifications.
Maybe
Absolutely.
not Supergirl, because Supergirl's a complete different Earth. But as far as, the whole Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow, we're going to see some type of ripple effect. That's why Captain Cold's going to be involved with other things, which makes sense.
And it might also explain the creation of the Justice Society, because we might not have Flash necessarily when we have Flash. It might take 40 years before Barry becomes Flash, if both of his parents are alive, etc. Because he's not going to become a police officer because his mother isn't dead. True. He doesn't have to prove his father innocent. So why is he going to become a police officer? He might become a security guard or a math teacher. He could be anything can happen. But there will be ramifications, obviously, in the other. Maybe Ollie doesn't become Green Arrow, but there's Ra's al Ghul or Damien Dark or something that happened that was a villain well before Barry ever became the Flash. They're still villains, so we might see this big bad that we've already seen before coming back in a different way, and that's how the Justice Society is created. We don't know.
True. I guess we'll see. I mean, it's hard to say how they're going to play into it.
Well, when are we going to get Legends of Tomorrow season 2? Will it start, after we've already had 7 or 8 episodes of Flash and Arrow, and then Legends of Tomorrow starts?
Have they even said there's going to be only 16 episodes?
That's the thing.
We don't even know.
We have no idea yet.
They just got back. The writers come back this week, I believe. So the writers, yeah.
They should. Hey, send me a text, guys.
Yeah, yeah. So full of yourself. He thinks his stories are the best when they're. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I could stand in a room and write shit on a whiteboard and then be like, "What do you think of that, writers? Go write."
And they'd be like, no.
I'm like, cross it off. All right, next.
No. Next. No. Next.
I'm like,
no.
what about doing?
Just get the fuck out.
How about Catman? And they'd be like, dude. I'd be like, what? He was cool. He's really not.
No.
He's really not cool at all.
Well, I mean, come on. If they can do Jubilee in the movies, what's to say they can't do Catman? You never know. I mean,
they could do something like the OMAC project or something.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of stuff that I've been listening to, the trials, whatever it's called for the Flash trials, Flashpoint trials or something it's called, where he goes on trial for all that shit. I never really read the comics, but I heard a lot about that, a lot of talk that could be a possibility too for the ramification from all this stuff.
Well, I mean, he went into the Speed Force and they're like, don't fuck with anything.
And there he goes.
And then he's like,
yep,
bam, I'm saving your life, Mom.
Yep. I know. So it's...
Oh, Barry.
So we're going to see that a 4th time, basically? I mean, because we've already seen it 3 times now.
It's the pivotal moment of his life.
There was three times where he went back. The first time, the original. Then the second time to stop him, and he didn't. Third time, yes, he went back and finally stopped him. So the second one's like, what the fuck? Looking at him like, huh, what?
And he smiles.
Yeah.
'Cause he's like, Mom. Oh. Yeah. And then he disappears.
Uh-huh.
Whoops.
Well, that made you completely mute point now. So we're going to see a 4th point where the 4th point will come in and knock the living crap out of him before he stops him. And
stop himself and then stop his other self and then stop that other self and let her die.
And soon we'll just have a big room of a bunch of Flash together.
Half of them are going to be trying to kill her. Half of them are trying to get it,
It'd be like one big orgy. I did go there. Yes, I did.
Yeah, I think I'd stop watching the show at that point. I don't care how good it's been up to there. I'm like, we're done.
That'd be an interesting porn. A bunch of Flashes.
I don't
except
need to
males and females all mixed in.
All right, throw some.
It'd be quick.
Yeah. Jesse quick. Hey-o. That was bad. Sorry.
And with that note, I am done for tonight. I'll see you next week, folks. No,
yeah. Tune back in, please.
Yeah. If we didn't scare you off at this point. No, I do kind of wish they would have put a little more into that second to last episode where they had all the rogues too. It just seemed like they had so many there,
and we only saw Black Siren.
Yeah, really. I mean, we saw a couple of the others here and there. The one that was hit by Wally in his car.
That was Black Siren. Oh, the other guy.
No, the other guy. Yeah,
you're right.
I was gonna say that wasn't Black Siren.
And then Joe came in and collared him. Yeah.
Yeah. But it would have been cool to see more build out, maybe a couple episodes of that, see what they would have really done, and everything, because there was no Flash quite yet when that first started off.
Yeah.
I mean, because he was still in the Speed Force, wasn't he? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know what they could do, but it would have been interesting to see more built into it.
Yeah. I got to say, I thought that Kevin Smith's episode where Barry was in the Speed Force was like the weirdest episode of the season. I'm not going to say it was a bad episode, and I know everyone's like, oh my God, it was fantastic. It was great. It was a little weird.
I thought Jason Mewes was supposed to be a rogue.
If you posit the scene where Zoom does his speech and there's all the rogues at the police station, he's in there.
Yeah, but why didn't you build off of that a little bit with a character like that? Come on, that would have been awesome. See Jason Mewes pulling some shit.
Because you have to pay him.
Yeah, so? He doesn't cost that much. When's the last big thing he's done?
I know, it's Jason Mewes. Like, here's a free comic, bro.
Yeah. It's, I mean, come on. The last thing we saw him in was what? Clerks 2? Probably. I can't remember.
I'm sure he was in Tusk.
I mean,
it's like I know he's in Yoga Hosers, and he's probably in Tusk.
yeah.
But he wasn't in Red State, I don't recall. No, but yeah, pretty much from Clerks 2 until now, he was like, really big into drugs, and he's been sober for almost 6 years now.
Yeah. he mostly does his store, which he doesn't even have to do much with that.
Not even that, because the store's in New Jersey and he lives in L.A.
That's true.
By Kevin.
Yeah.
No, he's a dad now. I listen to a lot of their podcasts and stuff. So
yeah,
he does shows. He's been on Jay and Silent Bob Get Old for a while and stuff. So he still hangs around and he still does stuff.
Yeah.
He appears on.
Still a nerd, but he just doesn't do the acting side because he was never the big actor.
Nah, he's got all the money that he needs, and he's got a wife and a daughter, and he's sober and he's loving his life. He put himself back together, and
true.
But I did love his appearance though. Oh man, that's my mom's car.
That was awesome.
So
that
good.
was awesome.
It was perfect, dude.
Yeah, it was.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if you go back and watch the scene where Zoom gives his speech,
I remember
and you're looking, he's like the only, like all the villains are like got their hands in the air or whatever and stuff, all like hallelujah Zoom. He's like the one villain that's like doing like the fist bump, like Cotton Eye Joe, like yeah, pretty much. He's the one guy doing that. So
yeah, he's the bro of the episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I guess next season, I mean, who's gonna be the real big bad? I mean, obviously I mentioned about, I didn't want to spoil it, but the character that they teased a little bit that Zoom turned into, then disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to dive into that anymore? And that's the Black Flash.
Black Flash, yeah.
Because you saw it with him, with his face and all that stuff. So are they gonna bring something like that in there? Can you really is that too dark? Because that might be too dark for a show like that. Because that's a very dark character, from what I remember. He's very dark compared to the rest of them. Mm-hmm. Especially if you look at him in general, he's more Walking Dead style shit compared to Flash.
Now, Black Flash, was he a Black Lantern?
I don't remember, because I'm not as quite familiar with it, but I know I've more than what I've read with comics, I've learned kind of more of listening to people talk about him and stuff like that. That's where I learned mostly about him. So I'm not sure.
I'm just curious, because I know that the Black Lanterns were a group, one of the core of Lanterns where everyone's dead.
Yeah, that could be. I mean,
because that would be cool. Like, introduce the friggin' Lanterns. Like, oh shit, the Black Lanterns have invaded Earth, and Black Flash is their leader, and then that's why a Green Lantern arrives on Earth. I don't know. I'm getting like way into it now.
So basically, I mean, the Black Flash fulfills the role of Death. Is basically what he does. He, for those who possess the super speed. So he was never, he wasn't Black Lantern.
So it sounds like he's pretty much the one that hunts down and kills the speedsters when they need to be killed. Like when it's their time to die, he kills them. Yeah,
he's the one that takes them to the dark side, pretty much.
Huh.
So
I don't know.
Yeah. So his powers are superhuman speed. Okay.
No way.
And Chronokius. CHRONOKINESIS. Time manipulation.
Oh, chronokinesis.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
That took me a minute.
That makes sense then. So I don't know. I mean, who knows what will happen with him? I mean, hopefully, it'd be cool to see him a little more. Maybe that's how they're going to bring in other speedsters, but then they don't survive that long.
Huh?
It would have been cool if they would have done that. You know, shown him when, what's her name?
Trajectory.
If I could speak. Trajectory. Oh, Lord. Shown it with her, you know, when she passed on to the Speed Force.
Yeah.
So.
But if he wasn't Black Flash yet.
Yeah.
Although he does have chronokinesis, so he could have come back in time. Whatever.
Yeah.
But then people would guess the end.
They would have got confused too. Like, because most of the people that watch it are like, okay, Black Flash, Zoom, isn't that the same?
It looks like the same guy.
What the same guy? What the hell?
And we got to think, like, yes, it's Flash. Yes, nerds watch this show. Yes, the writers have done a phenomenal job of bringing in shit from the comics. But it's still on the CW.
Yeah,
like, there's still teenagers that don't read comics watching this show.
True.
So you don't want to throw in, like, all this symbolism and all these little Easter eggs. I mean, you can, but you don't want to overload Easter eggs because then you're not going to understand the show at all.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people are like, what the hell? You're like, you have to do fan service, but everything can be fan service.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I guess speaking of next season, I could see them like doing a little bit more with the rest of the characters too. I mean, I guess Killer Frost. I mean, I was hoping more out of that this season. We didn't get as much. Maybe we might see Caitlin turn sides because she was kind of going back and forth for a while there. Well, kind of like wasn't sure. That would be awesome to see. Maybe a good side of her turning, you know, and showing powers coming out for some reason.
Well, I mean, once the timelines are, his mom isn't dead anymore. So the first 2 seasons, the timeline is completely gone. So, I mean, it's not implausible now where Earth 1 Harrison Wells, who's the actual Harrison Wells, does do the particle accelerator, and she ends up with Killer Frost powers and stuff. Like, we don't know where they're going to start the show. They might start. Oh, obviously, they have to start the show where Barry is the age that the actor is.
Yeah.
So they're not going to go back and be like 1 month after Barry saves his mother, like, and then start like with 9-year-old Barry. Like, that's not going to happen. Obviously, we're going to be introduced to late 20s Barry, but his mom and dad are both still alive and have raised him and stuff. So he might not know Cisco and Caitlin and all that because he didn't know them until after he became the Flash.
That's
and
true.
Remember, he became the Flash early because Reverse Flash, as posing as Harrison Wells, made the particle accelerator happen early.
True.
I mean, we know that it happens, but it's much later than it actually happens when it's the real Harrison Wells. So now that he's gone back and saved his mom and defeated Reverse Flash, we are going to get the real Harrison Wells that we're supposed to have and all that. Yeah.
Maybe we'll see a different side of Vibe and, you know, on that too. I mean, because they started to show his powers some. But they really didn't open it up, which was cool. I'm glad they're slowly showing it.
Yeah.
You know, it's taking his time. I mean, we know what he's going to end up with because his doppelganger had it, basically. And they're both usually, when they each have the powers, they're both fairly the same, but it just, he might take a little bit longer, you know?
Right.
Which I'm fine with, you know?
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm excited for next season.
I think
definitely
everything is going to be different.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
You know, like with Barry having not grown up in the West's house, he and Iris could very well, like, season 3 starts and they're already married. You know?
Yeah.
Like, everything is going to be different until they fix the timeline again and let Nora die. Until Nora dies, everything is going to be different. And literally they can do anything they want because we know that it'll be fixed.
Yeah, and that's probably I'm hoping they do a lot of the season that way. I hope they don't like get scared and like, oh, we're gonna lose people because we're going way off track. No, don't worry about that. People like to have change. There's, you know, I mean, it's hard to deal with change sometimes, but deal with the change.
Yeah.
You know what? These aren't fanboys. These are normal people mostly watching it.
Yeah.
You know,
this is the CW audience. These are like 17, 18-year-old people.
Yeah. So who cares about the fanboys?
Fanboys.
Yeah.
Jeez. Unless it's X-Men fanboy, and then but we'll do that next time.
So yeah. I don't know. And then I guess the final show, briefly just talk about, you haven't watched it much, so we won't dive into it, but Supergirl. I mean, that's going to be... I'm excited to see what they're going to do to pull her into it. It's going to obviously change aspects. I mean, it's supposed to be on the same time on Monday nights.
Oh, nice. So Monday through Thursday we'll have a show.
We already did anyways, but it just wasn't all on the CW.
Right.
I mean, because we have Gotham on Fox on Monday nights, which I don't... are they going to switch around the times? Because DC's not going to go against DC.
Did it not on
or
CBS?
It did? No, it didn't. It didn't, because it was different times, I think. Because I think Supergirl might have been at 7 and Gotham was at 8. Or the other way around, something like that. So,
yeah. I
mean, they're not... Because they don't want to cross those paths in a sense. You know, it's... why would you steal fans from one another or whatnot, you know?
Yeah.
But you also had other shows. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and... Well, actually, that was the only other one. Walking Dead was Sundays.
Yeah,
the
Walking
only
Dead
night
was
you didn't
Sunday,
have shows was Friday and Saturday.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right?
Which they moved to 10 o'clock now, which is the 9 o'clock slot for us.
Oh.
Which is the death of shows.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we won't get into that. So, but I guess Supergirl, I'm excited to see how they're going to intertwine it. You know, it's how it's going to be affected, because you don't get the money that you had, so you're not going to see the special effects like you had in Supergirl.
Right.
You know, she consistently flies. You know, they're going to have to hold back on her flying. They're going to have to hold back on the Martian Manhunter. They're going to have to hold back on all the other characters and everything they show. So how are they, you know, plus they have to change filming areas now. They're not in LA
to
now.
Canada, yeah.
Yeah, they're not LA. They're up in Canada.
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 Canada. Yeah,
Canada.
But I guess we'll see how that goes. I don't want to dive into it too much because you don't know enough about it. So
I don't really care if anything's spoiled.
Yeah,
I told you, I watched on YouTube the little few minute scene where Martian Manhunter had revealed himself to the one girl, and it was all right. I liked it. And then my wife and I tried to watch the crossover episode, and I couldn't even get through the credits. It was so bad. And we watched the episode for maybe a minute after the credits, the opening credits ended, and we had to turn it off. It was
so you didn't even
so
see the
bad.
Flash come into it yet.
No, I didn't even.
You gotta watch through the.
I'm gonna go back to the beginning and see if I can make it.
Well, it's gonna be part of the universe, so you're gonna have to watch it.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah,
you have to.
I mean,
there's no questions asked now. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it now.
But
hey, at least this way they'll have it on the CW app, and I can watch it.
That's true. Yeah.
And, when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. gets canceled, I don't have to catch up on that anymore.
Yeah, I don't see that actually getting canceled for a while. It did go on down ratings, but I think they might go on a longer for it. But we'll see. Whatever. We won't get into all that. So, yeah. Ooh, that reminds me that I'm gonna have to set that up on Hulu so it shows up on my list. Another Hulu show.
Nice.
Yeah, watch it commercial free, all that fun stuff.
Nice.
Works for me. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I mean, really.
I mean, we can keep going.
Yeah,
but I think we touched upon the things
anymore.
that we needed to touch upon. The reasons why we love the show, a few complaints, what we're speculating on, and what we are excited for next seasons.
Yeah.
I think that's enough. I think the people at home are
ready. We'll jump in. Hopefully he can pull himself to watch the rest of all this shit that's out there, so we can do a fall preview show of everything coming out. I mean, we'll talk about all these shows. I know we said we enjoyed Flash a lot more than Walking Dead this year, but Flash fits in so well with the other shows, we have to pull them together. I will have a Walking Dead straight up podcast of what we expect, and we're gonna sit and we're gonna go dive deep into it. We're gonna dive right into the shit.
Well, and there's so much to look forward to next season.
Yeah, so
Plus,
we'll talk about it.
By the time we talk about that, we'll have the second season of Fear the Walking Dead done, which I know you and I are both enjoying that show right now, as opposed to other people that we know that don't like the show at all.
Yeah, exactly. Mid-season finale. Damn you, not till August 21st. The fuck? Really?
Well,
I needed a show on Sunday. I mean, Preacher's there, but I'm not going to... It was good, but it wasn't good enough to keep me coming home on Sundays. I'm going to cancel my Sling TV for now until the August 21st there.
Yeah.
So...
Well, so there's no more Fear until then?
Yeah.
That was the
mid-season finale.
Really?
This past Sunday. So, yeah. So there's nothing on TV right now. I mean, well, I guess I won't say that. I do like The Last Ship, and Suits was on, and I think they're still continuing Suits even with the same character since he's going to be on Legends because he won't be on for a while, stuff like that. So I do have other shows I watch, but I don't have regular TV now, so I can't watch all those.
You know what you could do is go back and watch all the X-Men cartoons.
I've already watched all those.
Oh, okay. Did you watch X-Men Evolution?
Not all of Evolution. I've already watched most of them. Sorry.
Oh, all right.
But I'm into Prison Break right now. Oh my God, that is such a good show. I mean, Captain Cold and Heatwave on there. I was like, why didn't I watch this before?
Why didn't I watch this when it came out?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone I know that's watched that show highly recommends it. So.
Yeah. But we'll dive into a show like that later. So
it's not really nerdy.
Yeah, yeah. Let me. Yeah. Deathstroke, gotta love him.
Take a look at this shit.
But hey,
that's awesome. 14 plus for a bobblehead with no moving parts.
Yeah, exactly. But as we finish up this week, please shoot me a tweet or anything if you have any questions or anything you want us to tell you about. Let us know. I mean, I know we didn't talk about everything. There's things we might have forgot or who knows what. I mean, it is what it is. I'm Jamie. As I said before, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Nerdology 5280. Also, my second channel has gone live, Nerdology 5280 Gaming. So I've split them apart. So I have two different channels now. I do all kinds of things. I've got my monthly unboxings. We've got the video podcasts that this is going up with. Movie reviews, and of course the aforementioned Let's Plays and stuff like that. Also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere you can think social media, basically, at Nerdology5280, if you haven't figured that one out. I mean, it's basic, but whatever. I know, Ryan, you've got places they can come and say what's up to you.
Yes, I am on the Twitter at Ryan Talks Nerdy. Give me a follow. I'll talk nerdy all over you. Also, make sure you check out the MySpace page. I'm just kidding. There's no MySpace page.
It's still there. We did look it up.
Not for like 12 years. Yeah. MySpace does exist, but we're not an indie band, so whatever.
Yeah.
I'm also, check out my website, the8thinitiative.net. I've been working on a werewolf crime noir story, albeit slowly. If you like werewolves, if you like crime noir, feel free to check it out because I guarantee that you'll like it.
He means slow as in complete opposite of the Flash.
Opposite of the Flash. Yeah, Zoom in a foot race with the Flash slow. Felicity pulling that stick out of her ass slow.
Again, thank you for tuning in. And don't forget to check back in next week, next month, next year. No, actually, we've got another podcast coming up this week. It's going to be our review of X-Men. Yeah. And talking about Apocalypse and all that. It will be a two-parter, so we're going to be dropping it probably 2 different nights, something like that. Non-video, so you won't see that. But the second part will be about the Turtles movie, kind of talking about it, what our expectations, if any expectations, whatever. We'll talk about it. We'll dive into that time. I know I do have a gaming podcast here coming in the works. Hopefully that will be out soon. That will be a Nerd to the Roundtable version. We got a couple other podcasts I do. I'll talk with those as we get closer. But if you got any questions on X-Men or Turtles, stuff like that, please shoot me a tweet, or Ryan a tweet also.
Please, X-Men, please. I need to talk about it. I need to talk about it.
He can't help it. He can't help it. But hey, as always, don't forget to unleash your inner nerd. Peace.